Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Going to give everybody a moment to come into the webinar before we get started. So thank you for your patience on that. If you are just now coming into the webinar, welcome. Just going to give everybody one more minute to filter in, and then we will get started. Alrighty, I think we are good to get going. Again, welcome. We have an amazing webinar in store for you today. If any questions do come up during the webinar, please feel free to just drop those in the question box on the right-hand control panel, and we'll be sure to get those answered for you. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to our amazing presenter, Jim Mason.
Thank you, Madison. Thank you all for joining. Today, you will receive an overview of AttackIQ Flex and AttackIQ Ready and how you can use them as an SMB to test your security controls. Now, organizations must defend themselves daily against cyber attacks, and while security technology improves, it often fails silently. The typical endpoint detection and response system only stops 39% of adversarial techniques, while over 70% of organizations find that a quarter of their security controls don't even work. Additionally, recent research has found that 82% of breaches have succeeded, despite having the proper security solutions in place. Now, the solution would seem obvious. Why not just test? While security testing is a recommended practice for security controls, there are a number of challenges organizations face when attempting it. The first is price. If organizations opt for an automated breach and attack simulation solution, they find that the price is often prohibitive. Second are the fast turnaround requirements. When testing their assets and security control configurations, customers want results fast, enabling them to make any necessary changes. This is especially true during high-profile, fast-moving attacks. Taking weeks to get through a manual assessment will not satisfy these requirements. Another is the testing complexity and skills gap. There's a lack of security control testing expertise. There simply aren't enough personnel with the required red team skill sets to test everything. Also, external red team engagements are expensive, invasive, and require extensive onboarding. Lastly, we have the lack of visibility. Automated breach and attack simulation platforms typically require host-based agents to run assessments or tests. Now, this can be impractical in environments that are air-gapped, dark sites, or merger and acquisition situations, or even when a third party is managing the customer's environment, making agent installation improbable or even impossible. So all of these can result in a lack of visibility. AttackIQ Flex and AttackIQ Ready can help SMBs overcome all these obstacles. So first we'll talk about AttackIQ Flex. AttackIQ Flex is the industry's first agentless BAS solution that allows anyone, including those without cybersecurity experience, to run complex cybersecurity testing. Now, think of a red team at a click of a button, where you could perform the same testing at less than a fifth of the cost without any of the risk, planning, or time to implement. If you had something like that, anyone could test. And that's what we do. We give anyone answers to security validation questions in hours, not weeks. So let's take a look at the AttackIQ Flex architecture. The Flex solution is sophisticated, but it is very simple to operate, making it a good fit for small to mid-sized businesses. Customers are provisioned a Flex portal. The portal hosts test packages, and these are downloaded to and run from an endpoint of your choice. The test packages are bundles of emulations, and what they do is they mimic various tactics, techniques, and procedures, and also advanced persistent threats. They're executed to test the configurations of your security controls, such as antivirus, endpoint detection and response, and even next-gen firewalls. And note the Flex text packages, these test packages that we're speaking about, they emulate real-world attacker behaviors, but they do so in a non-intrusive manner. We don't want to cause problems or any harm in the environment. Also note that any staged files that are used during one of these tests are promptly removed during a cleanup process. Next, we'll talk about AttackIQ Ready, which is breach and attack simulation as a service. This is fully managed, and it's, again, as a service, leveraging the core AttackIQ platform. It provides weekly and monthly validation with reporting, remediation guidance, and curated access to AttackIQ adversary research team products. It assesses the effectiveness of 7 key security controls within the framework of MITRE ATT&CK. And it also provides comprehensive performance data, and you'll see how that all works in just a bit. Here's an overview of the AttackIQ Ready architecture. Now, at the core of the architecture is the AttackIQ Ready portal. Upon sign up, customers are automatically provisioned their own portal. This portal provides a user-friendly web interface, and this is how you will configure and schedule tests, monitor your progress, and also access detailed reports. The scheduled tests are executed by agents that are deployed on test points within the infrastructure. So think of AttackIQ Ready as the next step up from AttackIQ Flex, where with Flex, you're testing as you go, point in time. Ready enables you to establish more of a scheduled, programmatic, purple teaming type of solution. Now, Ready also provides engineering for security controls that look for detection information on each run. This is optional, but this is good because it enables organizations to efficiently measure their security solutions performance in real time. So how are your security controls detecting the emulations that you are running in AttackIQ Ready? And this helps you improve with empirical evidence. Within your Ready portal, customers also receive AttackIQ Flex. Now, this is something that we've introduced. Again, Ready is sort of a step up from Flex, so it makes sense to include it. Seamless integration with Flex enables customers to run agentless tests and also view those results directly within the Ready user interface. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. Flex provides customers, again, with that quick testing capability for situations where perhaps you can't install a Ready agent or to even extend testing to remote or air-gapped networks. So let's take a look at how you can get started with Flex and Ready. And we're going to begin with AttackIQ Flex. You can even check this out today if you want to. All you'd have to do is go to attackiq.com and you can sign up for Flex today. And when you sign up for Flex, you have the option to create an account with your own information. You can even continue with LinkedIn. Once you do that, we'll gin up a Flex portal for you with an alphanumeric designation, and you'll receive what are known as Flex credits. You'll get 8 credits, and I'll show you how those work in just a bit. Now, also, if you're one that likes to dig a little deeper before you try something, or even once you're trying it, you can come to AttackIQ Academy. And within AttackIQ Academy, which is 100% free, all you have to do is sign in and register. And so once you do that, you'll be able to go through a number of Purple Team, MITRE ATT&CK, and other types of classes. So this is our giving back to the world. And note, one of the classes that we've recently introduced is agentless threat emulation with AttackIQ Flex. So you can definitely go through this course and any of our other courses. If you go through those, you also receive CPEs and Credly badges for some of the technical hands-on courses. So keep that in mind, and we'd love to have you try that. So getting back to Flex, let's say you've signed up for Flex, you get your credits, and you want to go through it. Flex is very easy for anyone to operate. Here you see the Getting Started page or the main page. We provide some background on Flex and what you can do with it, how it works, and definitely speak to the ease of use. There's really only 3 steps to testing with Flex. First, you'll download what's known as a test package. And once you run that test package, and I'll show you an example of that here in just a sec, it will create an encrypted JSON file, and you'll be able to upload that file to your portal via what's known as the Analyze page. And once you analyze that file, then you can view the report. And we also provide here some frequently asked questions, such as what is a Flex credit? That's actually the currency of Flex, and it enables you to look at any of your previously run packages and view the results via report. And we've also introduced Flex packages that are entirely free. And so you can run those as often as you want with no credits deducted from your allotment. We also include some questions and answers just to provide you some intel. So let's take a look at how this works. So we'll click on Test Packages. And within test packages, we have them categorized. So we typically have some featured packages that may be new. Note that within a package, you can see the number of Flex credits that are required to view your results. If you want to learn more about what a Flex package will actually emulate, again, these are tactics, techniques, and procedures that we have pulled and curated from our library to build these packages. So as you can see here, there are a number of different things for this endpoint antivirus version of a Flex package. These will be run from the perspective of the machine that you download the package to. You also have the option to copy the link. And so if you're testing in a site that's not connected or you're testing for a customer, you can do that as well. Or you can even download it directly. So I'll just download it. And once you download, it will show up in, by default, your downloads folder. And it's pretty simple. All it is just an exe. And if you want, you can double click on it to get it started. So I'll do that. So when you double click, you just click Run. And we've introduced a wonderful little UI that gives you, over time, step-by-step updates on how Flex is going. And so when this gets going, we'll stage all of the files, we'll unzip everything that's included in the package. We will execute each one of the tactics, techniques, and procedures, and then we will create the file once this is done running. And I'll show you an example of one that is complete. So once this finishes out, you'll see that your package is run and completed successfully. You simply click Continue. And then we give you the steps to look at the results. I click Finish here. To analyze, you simply click on Analyze. And then you can provide a label for the package that you've run, and then click to upload or drag and drop your file. Click Analyze. And at this point, Flex will begin to analyze the data, as you see here to the right. And I've run this a couple of times, so these are complete. Note that this particular package requires 1 credit to view the results, so you can simply click. And only at this point will we deduct the credits from your allotment. And simple as that, you have the results of your package run. Now, Flex is all about easy, quick results to help you get better in terms of your security posture. And that's why it's a very good fit for SMBs and others. We have this running in all types of environments. So I'll scroll through and give you an example of what we're doing here. So we provide an executive summary that gives you a background on the package and what was run, when it was run, anything that we may have found. And note that you'll see an effectiveness score. We have the average score for those within the AttackIQ community, partners, customers, etc. They may have run this particular package. So you see here, the average is 60 percentile. In our case, our controls are doing pretty well. They've actually scored at 90.91, but of course, there's some things that could be fixed. As you scroll down, we'll provide the scope of the assessment and also the methodology. So I mentioned a little earlier that we strive to do no harm. And so inevitably, someone will ask, well, what is this thing really doing? And so this is to allay any fears regarding the package and what it does. This was designed, again, to run agentless and also clean up and remove itself. And that's why it's very good for certain situations where you can't use an agent. So as you can see here, there are 5 key steps, all executed, nothing you have to do, all of it's done by Flex automatically. So from the activation of the package, as you saw me do, and then the execution of everything that is included, the activity on the host, which is just executing the scenarios or the tactics, techniques, and procedures, and then the post-test cleanup and results. As you can see, this is very comprehensive for something so lightweight. If we scroll down, you'll see the package details. And so this is an endpoint detection and response test. So in other words, we downloaded this, in this case, to a Windows machine. We ran it to test the EDR that's running on that machine. You'll see that there are different categories and the number of scenarios or TTPs that are executed. And then how you did. What was stopped by your current configuration of your EDR and what was not in the results column here. You'll see each of the scenarios. That's our term for tactic, technique, procedure, emulation, simulation. And so you'll see what we're running here. So again, pretty good, but not 100%. So what can be done? With AttackIQ, we provide recommendations and mitigations. And there's really 3 main types. So we'll provide AttackIQ recommendations. We'll also provide you with MITRE-based recommendations and even Sigma rules. So again, the AttackIQ Flex is very lightweight, very easy to get started with, and we encourage you to try it out today. So next, we'll take a look at AttackIQ Ready, which is also very easy. Now, Ready is designed to be BaaS as a service. What we found with many of our small to mid-sized business customers is they don't have the personnel, they simply don't have the numbers to run a full-on breach and attack simulation or emulation solution. And so we've added AttackIQ Ready to address that. And so note here, again, Ready is very Flex-like in terms of look and feel. It's designed to be very simple to get going. The main difference between Ready and Flex is Ready does have that concept of the test point or agent. But again, even that is very simple within Ready. From the Getting Started page, we'll do a whitelist and deploy test points. I'll show you that. And then you also have the ability to confirm the weekly testing schedules. This is also a step up, an enhancement, if you will, from Flex, where Flex you test where you want, when you want, and how you want. But if you want to establish a more scheduled, regular testing type of program, then Ready is definitely for you. And you can accomplish this no matter what your size. Then once you get the testing scheduled, you view the reports, and some of these tests are set up for you automatically with Ready. So let's take a look at the first step that we're talking about there, configuration. So you notice in our environment, we have 2 test points, and you see here, one is inactive. So that was previously deployed, and one is active. Let's say in this case, you want to deploy another test point. Very, very simple. So all you do is click on deploy a test point or add a test point. You'll see the steps are presented very, very simply right in front of you. All you do is download the installer, run the exe, any whitelisting for very, those EDRs that you may have on your test points, very easy to do. And once you do that, that's really the main thing you need to do to get going. Once it checks in with your Ready portal, you're pretty much set to go. The optional detections are here as well. So in this environment, we're running CrowdStrike, and we had those 2 test points. They've been set up with this OAuth 2 client ID. So those are ready to go. But let's say in your environment, you have some other security technology that you wish to see how it reacts and responds to the AttackIQ testing. Well, you can simply add detection. So let's say you have Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. Now you'll be able to see what's required with regards to permissions to get this up and going. So you can put in the necessary client ID, secrets, and associated authentication methods. And then once you click save, that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it, to adding another detection for security technology. Next, we'll go to the home. And before we hit home, notice this is hosted. We do all the heavy lifting for you with Ready. The value add is you also have some say in when testing happens and being able to run additional tests. So I'll show you what that means in just a bit. But note that anytime in the process, you are not alone. You have the ability to click on the consulting request, provide some details about what you're looking for in terms of assistance, send that request, and we'll be on with you to help you out. Now note we have the schedule. Again, when you set up Ready, we have 3 main tests that come with it. You don't have to do anything, and I'll show you what those are in a bit, but you're not stuck with that. You can do other things additionally. So let's go to testing. So here are the 3 tests that happen automatically with every customer. We do a content filter baseline, an endpoint antivirus baseline to test the antivirus running on your endpoint, and then also the EDR, which stretches out a bit more. If you wish, you could add more tests. Okay? And so if you click on add more tests, again, these are categorized as well. So you'll see security baseline to testing everything from EDR to C2C, email filter, even next-gen firewall. Or perhaps you're interested in testing for adversaries or different threat actors out there. We have a number of those that you could add to your testing repertoire as well. And even emerging threats. Perhaps Turla is interesting in your environment, or someone brought that to you as a potential concern. You could easily add that to your schedule, and you'll be ready to go. Now note, you can also change when the scheduling happens. So as you see here, this is running on Sunday at 3 o'clock local time, but it's a UTC time. You could change that if you wish. You can also run this on demand. So you could select tests, such as this content filter baseline, and you could run that on demand. Next, I'll show you some reports. As similarly with Flex, where we have a number of reports, with Ready, we have reports that can run weekly. They can also provide a monthly report with the service. So I'll give you an example of that. This is an adversary emulation report that we've run recently. So this is that Turla group. It's slightly different from what you see in Flex. So here's an executive summary, again, a background on what this particular test entailed. You'll see how our environment performed. We stopped 61% of the techniques that this particular group has been known to use. We provide the assessment scope or the testing scope, and then the results. So what did we stop? If this is a test that has a number of different situations or stages, we'll cover those as well. But as you can see here, we do pretty well in certain areas, in other areas not as well. And so again, we'll need those mitigations to be able to handle our security controls and get them better. I mentioned that we have the AttackIQ mitigation recommendations, the MITRE recommendations, but also the Sigma rules. So here's an example of that. If your team is interested in those types of things, we give you the link to go grab it. and implement it as well. So that's the overview of AttackIQ Flex and Ready. Again, designed specifically for SMBs or even teams and other organizations that may not be as large to get you the testing that you need so that you can improve your security posture with not a lot of lift on your part. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Madison for any questions.
Thanks, Jim. Let's see. Maybe we give everybody 1 minute to go into the question box and, ask any questions if they have them.
So I see one question. Is AttackIQ a complete vulnerability assessment tool? So when folks mention vulnerability assessment, typically you're talking about CVEs. I won't assume that, but oftentimes when we're speaking to customers and prospects, that's what they're mentioning, going out and scanning for CVEs. So this is different from a CVE scanner, which will tell you potentially where vulnerabilities may sit on desktops, laptops, servers, even load balancers and things like that. But we do have some CVE testing in our enterprise-based product, but this isn't a scanner in that sense. What this is designed to do is mimic a red team. So think about a situation where you bring in a team of experts to test your environment. They are looking to execute certain types of tactics, techniques, and procedures, usually using a number of kind of walk-around tools, and to see how far they can get, what can be stopped, what can't be stopped. And so that's what this is designed to mimic. It just does it in a much more lightweight form factor. But it's not a CV scanner, if that was the question. That's a space that's well handled by other vendors out there.
Fantastic. That's the only question I'm seeing here now, Jim.
Well, very good. We hope that you enjoyed this session. Thank you so much for joining us here at AttackIQ, and we look forward to seeing you the next time.